The leadership industry is taking your money and is lying to you. I know because I am, was, is, and still partakes in the particular industry. However, that does not stop me from talking about it because I have been doing this for such a long time. My name is Philip. I've been executive counsel for the last 19 years, over $200 million in profit made for my clients across 3 continents. And during that time, I have obviously been helping leaders at the level of execution find their mojo, find a way to execute better, find a way to execute faster, get ready to sell off, but most importantly, create amazing companies that make a difference across the world. Now, the entire global leadership industry is worth $60 billion a year. $60 billion a year. Now, let me tell you what that 60 billion mostly buys for you, especially if you've been the kind of guy who just pays away, take your people and pay, and it's part of the yearly thing, and your HR says, oh, we got to do this because it is part of what we do. Now, let me tell you exactly what that buys you. Number one, a day away from the office, usually. A personality test that tells you and all your people, that's vaguely tells you the things that you already vaguely know. A framework or an acronym, you're going to come back with some kind of system. They give you a certificate, a LinkedIn post about your growth journey, and then boom, come Monday, you're back in the office and life takes over again. And things haven't changed. Yeah, you have a little bit of, oomph in you, but things haven't changed. The same decisions are routing through the same people. The same problems are still being escalated to the CEO, of the same that thing keeps coming up, and the same culture is still the one that people are working with through, and then you're not getting the results that you need, even if your people went for a leadership session. Why? Because it is still running, the leadership is attempting to come and run on the same architecture that has been running for so long, that has never changed. You return to a structure that made it completely irrelevant, made whatever you went to learn completely irrelevant, and people are not willing to talk about this because if I told you the truth, then you would not invest in me, then that means I would not have a business, okay? Because the industry is selling the training. We need to sell the training to you, and that's how we survive. However, why is this important? Why does it matter? Here is the fundamental lie at the center of leadership development and why it's so. The problem is inside the leader's head. That is what they usually say, okay? They say fix the mindset, build emotional intelligence, and get clearer on values and do the inner work. And yes, I'm not dismissing that stuff, and I want to be very clear. All my sessions that have been the most successful, I spent more time, about 4 hours, on the inner work. There's no question about it. I would first get rid of all, the stuff that was preventing, then we would get into the real depth of what needed to work. Now, I also realized that the inner work is part of, but not all. Therefore, you got to do it and then build on top of that. But here's what 19 years have also taught me. A psychologically mature leader, okay, who still comes back to a broken system, to a broken structure, will still be pulled back into the broken structure way of doing things, and they will ultimately fail. Send your most emotionally intelligent leader into a system that rewards things like political behavior, that punish the truth, that routes every decision through one human being. And I can guarantee you within 6 months, they will have been shaped by that system far more than they shaped it. And if they're that good, they will jump out of the system if they want to create something amazing. And nobody is talking about it in the industry because we can't tell you the truth, because we'll stop selling what we need to sell. Because selling you the truth means selling you something that the industry doesn't know how to deliver. Now, the reason I do it is I want us to have a conversation, okay? What if the answer was never, how do I develop my leaders? What if the real question was, what is the structure that my leaders are operating inside, and is it designed for them to succeed? Is it a culture that has design architecture in it, that has governance, that rewards risk, that rewards, that tolerates people getting, talking about things that might be uncomfortable? What kind of culture do we have, and what does it actually say about us? Because the structure of your organization will actually determine the success of some of your leaders. The leaders who actually transform, and this is what I found and I wrote it down, the leaders who actually transform durably, measurably, in ways that change how their companies run are the ones who change the structure, not just themselves. They did both, the mindset and the culture, the garden and the seed. Okay, in 19 years across the entire world, the organizations that have done it better have hit both of those at the same time. Now, I know this is not the message that the industry is looking for, but it's the one you need to hear sometimes. Okay, if you've been frustrated, you send your people and they just don't come back with what it is, then that is what we got to do.